Well, welcome back again, people. We're back again in this little beta world. I think we're probably just gonna continue putting all this stuff together in here. It's a little bit daunting, actually. This is kind of intimidating. When I was laying this out initially, I mean, it was easier to tell when it was all dirt, but now that there's some stone in the way, it's almost a little harder to tell what everything is, especially now that it's been a few days and I don't quite remember everything as well, but I think I can, for the most part, figure out what I was planning here. I think we'll probably just build up these couple walls and then go from there. Now, I've been wanting to experiment with some more types of content that I can put out on this channel, more than just games, but even still with games and stuff. I want to try experimenting with more scripted content. I still really like the feeling of my channel, as in like the early 2010s kind of feel to my channel. I still want to keep that, because I think that's something you don't really see much on, well, anywhere on the internet anymore. But I do want to experiment with doing different things. I'll try to keep it all still interesting to the same people, so that way I don't lose any of my following by doing that. But it's possible that you might see a couple extra bonus videos the next few uploads as I'm experimenting with stuff, because I want to keep putting these out, these long play videos that people like, kind of just as the normal routine, and then experiment with other things as bonus content. And then if they become, if they are received well, then I could, I guess, evaluate what to do then. But I do really find the idea of doing more scripted, even just more varied content, very interesting. Because as much as I and you love this beta world and these videos on this beta world, I don't want that to be my entire channel. I did kind of try that with the thief thing, but I think I was trying too hard to make it too much like these videos, and this style just doesn't really work with any other game. This style is kind of exclusive to Minecraft in a way, and that's fine. This can be the special type of content for Minecraft, but part of the reason why I want to do or experiment with scripted content is because I feel like I have the potential to write funny things, or just like, I don't know, like the stream of consciousness stuff like these videos is really fun and all that, but for any more serious kind of dialogue or anything that I want to put more thought into, it's really fun to be able to be a lot more deliberate with what I say and how I say it. Like I said, there's more potential for humor, and I feel like I can write funny things. So, I don't know, it's just fun to experiment with that. Really, that's my whole point, it's just that it's I want to do a little bit of a fun experiment. Plus, a lot of it is that I have a lot of newfound motivation from, ever since I quit my job now, to make more content. I just, basically, all that I've been thinking about the past few days is all the interesting stuff that I could make content about, and I've been like really loving and getting into it now. Even though it's only been a week, I feel like I have so much more energy to turn this into a really interesting and fun creative outlet for me. And I don't, I want to really utilize that to its fullest potential, and like really do some creative stuff here. Chances are, if I try it out and it does end up that it kind of messes with things, or that it doesn't really click with my audience that I've already gained here, then I'll probably just make a second channel and do it there. And, you know, that'd be fine, that's not a big deal. But I hope that I can figure out some way to mesh those two things together with this style of content. Or mesh this style of content with the other style that I want to make. I mean, it's not entirely unheard of for channels to do multiple niches. Niches? Is that the right word? To do multiple niches at once, especially in the early days of YouTube. Early YouTube was full of that kind of stuff. So I think it's worth giving it a shot, you know. Honestly, what I've learned from even just this past like month of YouTube that I've done, like seriously tried doing YouTube this past month, I've learned that as much as people talk about, oh, the algorithm, as much as people talk about, oh, it's luck and this and that and the other thing, most of that is kind of just gibberish. I mean, not entirely unfounded, but most of it I don't think really applies to anyone who seriously wants to grow a channel and make creative things. Now, if you're someone who all you care about is making a career off of YouTube, then yeah, that stuff probably does matter. You know, all the stuff that they talk about, all the stuff that those gurus on YouTube talk about, that stuff does matter. But, you know, for someone like me where I'm more focused on just having fun and making something creative, like, I think that perspective of doing it, and that, like, the motivation for doing that is so different, and I think it does come through in videos too. And at the end of the day, I really think that YouTube is more dependent on just showing people good content. Like, the algorithm isn't some mythical thing that's meant to destroy small creators and make it impossible to start a YouTube channel now. No, I mean, the only reason people keep using YouTube now is because the algorithm has been refined to make YouTube very good for people. It's the same thing as, like, Steam, right? People say the same things about releasing games on Steam, where they're like, oh, you gotta do this thing, you gotta do this thing, like, this is how you gotta gain the algorithm. Like, the algorithm is the algorithm. It's such a vague thing that people just point to as a point of failure for anything that they do. But really, at the end of the day, all it boils down to is all of these algorithms that any form of social media or entertainment thing has is just in the aid of showing people good content. Because at the end of the day, people who get shown good content are going to come back. So if you just make good content for good reasons, then it doesn't matter what the algorithm does. It doesn't matter that right now on YouTube long-form content isn't as popular as shorts are. Like, I probably would be more popular on YouTube if I made only shorts. And I know that. But at the end of the day, I'm making good content. And the algorithm promotes good content. So, to anyone aspiring to be a YouTuber, I think just ditch the gurus, ditch all that stuff. Like, I mean, you could watch that stuff for, I don't know, just another perspective. Like I do sometimes, just out of curiosity. But I don't think people should give it that much credit. Because all it boils down to with Steam, with YouTube, with making art, with building a portfolio, with getting a job, like, everything, all of that stuff, all it boils down to is just being good at what you say you're doing. And as long as you're doing that, you don't need to gain any system. You don't need to, you don't need to figure out how to win this thing or how to take advantage of this other thing. And if you're looking for how to gain the algorithm, then you're probably doing things for the wrong reasons. If you're making YouTube videos and all you care about is trying to take advantage of the algorithm and get it to push your content, then you're not making YouTube videos for the right reason. And I'm not saying that to diss on anybody, because I think it is easy to get blindsided by that. Especially, I can see how that would be easy in my situation. Like, I'm just starting to gain a little bit of traction, and that's super exciting for me. And so it's super easy to watch these videos or people talk and think, well, now that I'm gaining traction, I should do these things so that way I can explode. But no, like, the reason you're gaining traction is because you're not doing those things. It's because you are just making good content that you enjoy. It's easy to get blindsided or maybe even worried that you should be doing these things quote unquote correctly to make your channel better or bigger. But really, like, just toss all that stuff aside. Just make what makes you happy. Make stuff that you find enjoyable. Like, don't force yourself to do it, because it'll reflect. I've done that a couple times with some of these videos, and watching those little bits in a couple of these back, it's clear as day that I was rushing and that I was trying to kind of force myself to do it. So, really, like, just give yourself time and just make what you're passionate about when you're passionate about doing it. You'll find people who enjoy the stuff you make the same that you do. And I think that's going to continue to be my philosophy with this channel. I hope that this year's Christmas is different in a good way than the last. Not that my Christmas was bad. I don't think it was. But, I mean the feeling of Christmas. Everyone that I talked to last year agreed, but last year, Christmas felt very different. It didn't really feel like Christmas. It kind of just felt like an ordinary day. And some of it might be, I'm getting older, so it doesn't really mean as much anymore. It's not as big of a deal. And to an extent, that's probably true. But there were a lot of people I talked to that were way older than me. Way older. There were a lot of people that I talked to that were older than me. Old enough that that's not really a factor. And even they agreed that it kind of just didn't have the same feeling as normal. And I wonder what that might have been. Maybe there's something cosmic in the universe that my mom can tell me about that I don't know about. Also, I know you're gonna watch this, so hi, Mom. But... yeah, no, I just hope that this year's Christmas isn't the same way. Because it was a little bit sad. Like, it kind of undermined the rest of the holiday, because I love everything else about Christmas. I love the food, mainly. I really like the food. I'm a food person. But, the gifts, everything, I don't really care so much about the gifts themselves. But, the thoughtfulness of it is all very nice, and it's nice to feel appreciated with people, etc., etc. All that stuff, it was still there last year. Honestly, kind of more so, because it was the first year that my girlfriend had come over for Christmas, because it was the first year we were together. But I don't know, it's just that weird feeling in the holiday kind of undermined all of that and made it all feel just a little bit somber, I guess, is a way you could put it. Oh man, you guys don't know, but Monday, I think if I remember correctly, Monday was a bad day for me. It was not a good day. I spent more time on the toilet than I did standing upright in any meaningful way. I don't know what I ate or what happened. I don't even know if it was something I ate or if it was some kind of weird stomach bug, but I was miserable. I wanted to, this week, try and spend more time on a video, which I guess that ended up working out great. Yeah, like I wanted to spend more time on a video, but it ended up that I couldn't, because I was glued to the toilet. Tuesday. It would have been Tuesday, I think. because today is Thursday. Yeah, so it would have been Tuesday. Yeah, I wanted to be able to put more time into a video, put more hours of gameplay into one video, because I feel like that's always been more. I feel like the videos are always more interesting when it's more than just like 1 hour that I've cut down. But, you know, it is what it is. I am excited to be able to put more time toward this. Like I've said, I think I said it in my last video, but I didn't quit because of YouTube. That would have been very dumb. But I would be lying if I said that I wasn't extremely excited to have more time to be able to put toward it. Because now that there kind of is a small audience that I feel, in a way, like, helps keep me responsible when it comes to content. Like, I feel like I should be making a consistent output, and that's a good thing. I feel like with that little bit of good pressure, I have really, really, really started to enjoy making videos again. And it really has been a super long time since I felt so happy to just make content. Like, I used to be super, super, super big into making videos. I used to do it all the time with my crappy little red camcorder that I had. And it was one of my favorite things to do, period. Like, I just did it to do it because I just loved making videos. But for a long time, it kind of left me just because I didn't really have any real motivation or reason to do it anymore. Especially after my attempt before this at YouTube had failed pretty miserably. So it really is awesome now to have not only the motivation of having some kind of a steadily growing audience, but also the motivation of, you know, I'm getting better at it. I have more ideas for it now. I'm having more fun with it. Like, all of that combined, I'm really loving it. And I'm really excited to be able to put more time toward a fun hobby like this. It really has been a long time since I've been able to enjoy doing something like this. So, I appreciate you guys for, even though you don't really know it, making it possible for me to enjoy doing this hobby so much again. It's kind of been a missing piece, you know. I've always enjoyed my game making and other creative hobbies and all that, and I likely always will. Yeah, I mean, I just, this one's been missing, and it's nice to have it back in some way. Would you look at that? Good timing, just in time to go back to bed. What an eventful day of walking around. Though I guess carrying several stacks of 1 meter by 1 meter cubes in your pocket, or whatever, probably would tire you out pretty quickly. So maybe, maybe it makes sense. Okay. Now we have more room in our inventory. That's better. I am making efforts, or well, going to start making efforts to be a lot more unplugged. I've never really had much of a problem with it. For the most part, I've never really enjoyed like social media or anything. Oh man, is that it? Yeah. Yeah. For the most part, I've never really enjoyed social media or anything. I had Instagram for a while, and then I just didn't like it, so I uninstalled it. So I don't really have much of a history with being too plugged in. But I do find, if I go for a walk or something like that, even if I do something just as simple as I just leave my phone at home and don't have it in my pocket, then immediately my walk is like 1,000 times better just because I don't have my phone on me. And I kind of want to carry that into my normal day-to-day life. Not having my phone on me, because as much as I love doing that on walks, I always worry that my dad's gonna need to get a hold of me then, and, you know, not any other time during the day. And on the off chance that that happens, I usually just carry it around with me anyway. But I do want to figure out some ways that I can remove whatever small dependencies there might be on my phone from my life. Like, I don't really use my phone for much other than texting or calling. And so to me, I'm like, okay, well then why don't I just get a flip phone that only texts and calls? You know? So, you know, that's something I'm considering. Oh, God. Get down here. Yeah. Burn! Oh, God. Oh, fuck. There's more of them. I didn't know that. Let's make some more torches and we'll be back. Oh, God. Oh. I've been thinking about making a video on Age of Empires. I don't really know why, but I just really like that game, and I just think it'd be fun to make a little video on it. I don't know how I would make a video on it, or what about, but I just want to. It was one of the first games that I really, like, played and kind of got into. My dad owned it. He had the disc for it, the little CD-ROM, and I played it a ton on his laptop. What? Oh, shit. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah, I played it a ton on his laptop at the time. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked. Oh, fuck. Okay, okay, okay. So apparently I've been... Stop it. Apparently I've been near here before. I don't like this. I do not like this. He's right there. This is terrifying. Oh, hello. Okay, okay. Freaking terrifying. Why are there so many of you? We have diffused the situation, I think. I don't know if you can pick up on my 100 IQ pun that I just made, but the joke is that bombs explode, and you defuse bombs, and bombs are kind of like creepers because bombs... I really want to do some stuff with redstone in this, but I don't really know what. There's not really a place for it here. I could try doing some stuff, though, I guess. I don't know why I'm suddenly getting so on edge. I feel like something's after me. It's really weird. It's hard to No! Oh, man. This is how I've been getting my cool shots, by the way, for my videos. I've started using that now to get my thumbnails and stuff. It's more fun like this. For those wondering, I have answered it before in some comments, and I usually try to respond to most comments, but I am playing on a new client, a custom client. It is a custom Babrick client, which Babrick is basically like some magic thing that makes Forge work with beta, or Fabric work with beta for, like, somehow. I'm not gonna pretend to understand it. All I know is that it's really cool, and it enables you to actually have a mod loader for beta, which is nice. Another nice thing about doing a Babrick instance that's custom like this is that if I ever want to do custom mods for this world, for the videos, which I might do at some point, if I ever wanted to do that, I could do that, which would be very interesting. Might be something I do, might not. At the end of the day, it just makes it a lot more customizable and easy to tweak, and that's very nice, especially for a game, for a version of the game that's as old as this one is. For the record, I think next week and possibly the week after, I either won't upload or won't upload anything long and big like these Minecraft videos. I might upload maybe those experimental videos, but I'll probably be working on them today and tomorrow, so, you know. But the point is, next week and the week after, I probably will be taking a little bit of holiday time just to spend some time with my family for the holidays. You know, try to experience this Christmas and hope that it's better than the last one as far as the general vibe of it goes. I hope you guys all have good holidays, a good Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, then, I don't know, have fun eating shoes or whatever you do on Christmas Day. Thank you all so much for your time, again, and I appreciate the constant support for these videos. I'll see you guys, well, I guess whenever I make the next entry in this little series, probably in a couple weeks. So, thanks everyone. Bye.